I've travelled a few times in China. Did a big trip in 2006 in China. Backpacked around for 4 months. Had a great time. Good people. Hard to be a tourist there though. Tried to go to the Forbidden City. Wasn't allowed. Tried to find the secret garden. No one would tell us where it was. Lost Palace. Couldn't find it. Hidden Temple. Looked everywhere. Couldn't find that either. Good people though in China. I've travelled a lot. I've travelled all over the world. Travelled in more than 100 countries. Most people all over the world are good people. I've been in Afghanistan and Pakistan, China, Mongolia, South Central America. Good people. Mostly people. I mean, there's fuckwits everywhere you go, including Australia and everywhere. So it seems to me the problem isn't necessarily the people of the world. It's kind of the people who are in the power of the world, really, isn't it? Life's not perfect, and I put it to you that a lot of the problems that the world's got is due to drug use and tension, poverty, all can be avoided. And I love Australia. We are not the problem. I grew up with friends who were first generation immigrant Chinese or fifth generation goldfield Chinese, Lebanese, Vietnamese, Greek, Aussie, white Aussie, whatever you want to call it. There was never a problem. We used to beat the shit out of each other, but young blokes will do that. So where does the power lie? We do. We have it. Power lies with us. Still seems to me though. And here's the news flash. There's a thing called the Great Reset. There's a major play going on. Major bodies in the world, including the WEF, UN, NATO, things like that. Anyway, and now back to where I was, because it's still forget that people don't even know what's going on anymore or who are just waking up. But welcome to the party. It's over here. And we have the power. We stand together. Why not have a world full of freedom where you can do whatever you want if you're a good person? You don't have to worry about losing your house. You have free electricity, love and honesty and truth and balance, and you're healthy, your kids are healthy, and happiness and fulfillment. Doesn't have to be like this. Humankind is living so far from its potential, it's unbelievable. Technologically, spiritually. It seems to me like a lot of people don't understand what the future might look like. We are not going backwards. A lot of people fighting to stop this. We've got to stop this. We've got to fight this. And fair enough, if you've got ideas on how to fight this, then go for it. And I don't know how you do when you're playing a game of football against people who own the referee and are moving the goalposts mid-game. Pretty hard to fight, pretty hard to stop. Alternatives, though, and mass non-compliance, that's easy to do. So I urge you to, if you want to fight this, then at least spend 50% of your time working on alternatives. But we're not going back to shavings of gold. We're not going back to caveman days. Technology is here to stay, in my opinion, and all of these videos are just my opinions. That's all. Who am I? I've never painted any rosy pictures myself. I don't know everything. You're going to take it with a massive grain of salt and whatever. Like, I'm just giving opinions, but I think technology is here to stay. I've got to stay in the bigger space and understand what that might mean and not misunderstand it. So I urge you, if you're going to wade into something or write something off, make sure you've done a shit ton of research into it before you do, and make sure you understand exactly what you're talking about. Because we don't have the luxury of living in a smaller space right now. We've got to think of the future and what that might look like. Got to stay in the bigger space. And in reality, you know how long it'd take to completely destruct the government, completely rebuild the world, completely re-elect everybody, hope that they're not psychopaths and form a whole new monetary system. Same thing the other day I talked about. Just be careful if you think you're going to go to a protest and walk around in circles and wave a flag and it's going to change everything, and they're going to change their minds, then you're living in La La Land. And people took that the wrong way as well. Not what I said at all. Those protests, I ran those protests. I've been saying the same thing for years. Great for unification, showing power, getting together, showing numbers. These people are way too far in to turn around and go, oh, there's 1 million people in Canberra, or there's 1 million people in London. We're going to call it all off, change the whole system. My point is, we've got to be in the bigger space. Make sure you do a lot of research, or you're having a direct experience with something before you judge it and wade into it, and make sure you know what the future looks like. It's very, 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 very important. So why not have a future where we're free? Our future, our redesign. You've got to know what it is. Just go for it. Just go for it. I'm not your mum. Do I look like your mum? She's in trouble if I do. Oh, I might look more like your grandma. Just go for it. We're all in this together and we're all leaders. And what you think is your nemesis is actually your superpower, so If this is a nemesis, this looks like a bad thing, we step into it and own it and take responsibility for it and turn it into our reset. And it was all meant to be, and it's a good thing. And stay in that bigger space, love each other, be free.